Alright everyone, in this video I wanted to show you my completed 3D printed 4th Doctor sonic screwdriver that I got from Crackers Props and Designs, which was a page I found on Instagram, and I'll put a link to that page in the description below. Now I completed this last night, like fully assembling it, but it's took me since the day I got it, so we're talking about a week or just under a week to complete. Because I had a few bumps in the road in terms of painting and that, but I got there in the end as best as possible. And I was going to do a video step by step of me doing this from start to finish, but it didn't quite go down so well, so I'll just explain it here. So when it arrived, it was obviously blank in colour, it was just white. And then first step I did was sand it all as best as I could. And then once I sanded it all, I then got some primer and primed it all, and then once that dried I then got some silver paint and sprayed it all silver. And then once that was done, I just tried it to best as I could paint some of the little details like the black there, the red and so on. And when it arrived in about 5 sections. So you had the bottom section here, you had this bottom section here, the spring inside, this section here, the central rod, which you can probably just about see there, and the emitter. And when it came to the putting the emitter onto the rod and then sticking the rod in there, I kept thinking, well, how am I going to do that without it being so flimsy and wobbling about or risk of breaking, that kind of thing. So I kept thinking, and in the end I used some of that, just some Unibond sealant, and I just put some of it in the hole in the bottom section of this bit here, put the rod in, and then any that came out, smoothed it off, wait for it to dry and painted it, and it's held that in. It's held the emitter onto the rod really nice and firm. So I can do that. Just try and get a better flick. And it doesn't like budge at all, so it's really done a good job. And I did the same for putting the rod into the bottom section in there. So it's really held it nice and firm. And then the rest of it was just, as I say, painting these bits, which were proven to be difficult at first, but I got around it. And then then I did the emitter just a red. I wanted to do it more of a darker red, sort of more or less dark burgundy kind of colour, like my 1612 metal replica, which is just there. But typically the paint I had close to that colour had dried rock solid, so I had to go for the red, which I can't deny, it's kind of growing on me. The black paint was, I can't remember the brand now, I should have got it out before the video, but it was basically a paint for cars, but I've always found it good, so I used that for this section in there and the bits down there, hence why it's more shinier. The inner part of the ring, I didn't have any paint that looked like brass or copper. I can't remember what. It was one of those two colours on the actual prop that you could see on the inner part of the ring. So I just used something that was, in my opinion, is kind of close to the colour, and I just used some gold paint, which was the same brand as this stuff. Just about see the gold paint in there. I think it turned out quite nice. And then obviously just silver for the rest of it. I will admit, you can probably tell on the camera some of it looks a bit rough. I think that's due to the fact that I should have sanded it a bit more, but I can easily correct that in the future. But also some of my paintbrushes weren't too great, so I just went and did it, and then anything I want to correct in the future I can. But then again, it's a sonic screwdriver. It's meant to be a device that's gone with the Doctor through time and space and many adventures and gone in many situations and so on and used a lot. So, in a sense, it looking a bit rough due to either me not sanding it enough or my paintbrushes being rubbish. The roughness kind of adds to the effect of it being a bit worn and battered due to usage. It's just, so I'm kind of like, do I patch it up or do I leave it? Same with this, I accidentally scratched a bit of paint yesterday, but then I'm like, do I patch it or do I leave it? It's one of those. But I absolutely really like this. I mean, the detail, I mean, You can just wait to see on there. You can see like the bumps, you know, the little ridges inside this bottom half of the emitter. This camera's not great. I'll try and get it to focus. Yeah, it's being a bit rubbish. But you can probably tell when it wants to focus that, you know, it's the 3D print that he's done at Crackers Props and Designs has really brought out that detail really nicely there, like really nice. Same with the emitter, even down to the screw in the back of the emitter head, or the back of the bullet part rather, and even down to the ridges here. You can probably just about see. Yeah, it's gone a bit rough there, the paint, like I said, but easily patched up if I want to. But anyway, you can see the detail there. It's just a really nice print. This bottom section where the hole is, when I was sanding it all down, I was worried because it started to look like that was fading away, and I thought, well, I don't want that. So what I did, I got my craft knife and sort of dug in around the outer edge of the circle, and then got my little hand drill. I think there's a specific name for it, but I can't remember the name. But little hand drill basically, and I just drilled the hole deeper so it really brought that out better. And just about to see the spring moving in there. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. I love it. And the reason I wanted a 3D printed Sonic was because I've got this one, my metal one from the company 1612. And just check the box if I got that name right. Yep. And I absolutely adore this. I got it years ago, but since then it's become very rare, very sought after, and its value's gone up. And I thought, well, I don't want to take that to a Comic-Con or something. If it got lost or broken somehow, I would be absolutely livid. So I thought, you know, what can I do? And I thought, well, until I work out how to make a Sonic myself from scratch, let's look for someone who does a good 3D print. And I asked around many places, from Etsy to Facebook, Instagram, got ignored or told it weren't possible. But Crackers Props and Designs, he got back to me. I messaged him in September, chatted a bit then he got back to me about a month later, so October, so about a week or so ago, and he'd done a prototype, and he said he was making a second one if I wanted to buy it, if I was still interested, and of course I was, and I'm really happy with it. Whilst I got it, you can probably see the emitter on this one's a lot darker, which is the colour I wanted to go for. It's more like a burgundy kind of colour. But the thing is, one thing I love even more, no, one thing I love equally, is they're almost the same size. This, you know, it's only a little bit shorter compared to my metal one, which I love. I think it's mainly this section. On this one, it's quite taller, but on that one, it's just it's a nice size. So yeah. I absolutely love this, and I wanted to do a video to thank the man himself at Crackers Props and Designs, because, like I said, he's the only one that got back to me and actually kept me in mind, and actually did a prototype and then did this one, which I bought, and I was really grateful because no one else bothered or got ignored. So I thought I wanted to do this as a thank you, and also I really do, you know, advise you all to go and check out his Instagram page of all the other stuff he's made. There's some really nice stuff on his page, which I think a lot of you might like. There's certainly stuff on there that I've seen that I like the look of. But yeah, this is what I want. Yeah, I just thought I'd show you. And the good thing with this, if I take this to a Comic-Con or something and it got a bit battered or I dropped it, you know, it doesn't matter, it can easily be patched up. And if for some unfortunate reason, if it got broke or lost, I can easily get another at a reasonable cost, whereas that one, no chance. So that's the other reason why I wanted a 3D print. And I best say, when we were discussing like the cost of it, this was £25 because I asked for it because he said as a kit he'd do it as 25 quid with postage, which is what I wanted, because I thought as a kit it'd be easier to do, you know, before assembling. Or for 30 quid you can get one already assembled. I'm not sure if that includes already painted. You'll have to message him and ask. I can't remember, but it does definitely include it already assembled. And I think those two prices are really reasonable. So, right, well, I think I've waffled on a bit. I'll leave it here, and thanks for watching, and thank you to you at Crackers Props and Designs for doing this. It's a beautiful job, and I hope you carry on making more for the customers. Right then, I'll stop it here, and let's hope I can add those pictures I mentioned. Goodbye.